2023 was a very tough year for affiliate site owners. And if anything is to be certain, 2024 is probably going to be even worse. Unless you watch this video where I'm going to talk about my own perspective, but what is happening in the affiliate site industry with the SEO niche sites, the display advertising sites. And if you have ever considered buying one of these websites, you will definitely want to pay attention to this video, because what I am going to teach you in this video could make you some serious money in 2024, while also avoiding a lot of the heartache that a lot of people experienced in 2023. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, I am back to the YouTube channel. It's me, it's Greg. You'll notice that Nick Chi is no longer on the YouTube going forward. He has left to go do other stuff. I miss him, I wish him well. But unfortunately for you, that means Grandpa Empire is here. So I posted in the community channel a little bit ago asking what you guys would like to see inside of this channel, like what kind of content I can produce. I have a few videos I am filming now, but please go check out that community tab and leave me a comment on there, sweet engagement, or leave a comment underneath this video what you would like me to talk about now that I am taking it back over the YouTube channel from Nick. Now, before I get into how I think you can make a lot of money with content sites in 2024, first we need to provide some context. What happened in 2023 that led us to this dreadful video of Greg talking about some dreadful news? We rushed into 2023 with a lot of uncertainty. At the end of 2022, a little something called ChatGPT came out of nowhere, took the entire world by storm. It seemed like every single week, probably every single day, there was not a video or a timeline on one of my social medias that didn't go by with someone talking about some new, wonderful, crazy AI innovation or invention. And of course, all my SEO friends saw the doom and the gloom on the wall. And that kind of played out for the majority of the year, to be honest. Like in 2022, we sold 159 content sites on Empire Flippers Marketplace. That's a lot of content sites. In 2023 though, that number dropped dramatically down to 87. Now this is really bad news for you if you are looking to sell an affiliate site. The hunger for these sites dropped dramatically. And one of the big reasons why that happens, what I just mentioned, ChatGPT came out like crazy, took the world by storm, at least internet marketing world by storm. And what I saw earlier on in 2023 is all these SEOs saying Google's dead, it's over, we need to learn a new skill, blah, 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 blah. It was doom and gloom everywhere. And look, I've been in the game long enough to see SEO die several times, probably like 15 times over the last 8 years. I've seen some sort of rendition of it's over, the party's done, like SEO is just never going to work again. And every time it's been wrong. And I'm wearing an SEO shirt right now as a little bit of foreshadowing from my buddy James Dooley that I think this is wrong too. And in 2023, at the beginning of that, when everyone was talking about how ChatGPT is the great Google killer, I said, I think you are wrong. In fact, I thought they were so wrong, I started researching all about this. Like, or what would happen to Google if they really went all in on AI and did something like ChatGPT where they replaced the entire SERPs with effectively a chatbot. What would happen? So I looked into it, and basically Google would have to single-handedly destroy their entire business if they did that. Now, Google's not going to do that. If you want to know what I researched, I'll leave a link down below in the YouTube description of the blog article I actually wrote back in early 2023 to calm SEOs down a bit from this paranoia that their entire craft is now useless. So obviously, as 2023 went ahead, a lot of these fears that the SEOs had, both on the sell side and the buy side, started fluttering away. The hype of AI started dying down. People were using it successfully, but nothing had concrete happen where it made it to where SEO is out of date or useless or on the brink of destruction by any means. So 2023 kept plodding along, but then something very magical happened. And that magical spell, that sweet whispering of arcana and esotericism, was known as the Google Helpful Content Update. This thing was bad, like really, really bad. We saw so many content sites, like I'd wager over 50% of our content sites on our marketplace all suddenly went from being pretty good businesses to all declining overnight. Many of them never recovered. And that's not just on our marketplace, that is in every SEO group I'm in where people are building out niche sites, display ads, content sites, affiliate sites, you name it. A lot of these sites were hit really, really hard. And unlike other content updates that I have seen over the years, it wasn't very easy to figure out what was going on. Parasite SEO is suddenly back in vogue. like the best niche site on in the entire world apparently became Outlook India. It's wild. Like people didn't know what to do. And so now you couple this with the ChatGPT fears, and you couple this with helpful content update. You also couple it with future AI fears that are playing out for both sellers and buyers. This all led to this dreadful state when it comes to at least the M&A side of content sites, but really of the entire business model, to be honest, because as I mentioned, so many of my friends got hit so hard. I have a buddy, he had a business probably worth $4 million in the content site space, and I'd been badgering him for years to sell with me because he never really planned on taking that business to the next level, just like get more and more traffic in. And of course, he just thought I was trying to sell him on Empire Flippers, which, hey, I got KPIs to think about over here, right? But in all honesty, I was trying to help him become a millionaire. Now, after the helpful content update happened, along with all these other fears that happened, that business of his, which is a massive content site, by the way, usually they almost never get to that size. That business is probably worth $200,000 today if you just look at the money it's making, but it's really worth nothing because no one's gonna buy it because that fall from grace is pretty steep, right? It's pretty dramatic. Most buyers looking at P&L are like that, like, whoa, get this thing away from me. Like even people who buy turnaround businesses, like it's a little bit too aggressive for most people to handle. So we saw these kind of things happen together in the content space. And this is just the Google SERPs we're talking about here, because there's a whole other bag of worms that was happening throughout 2023 that actually started at the end of 2022 or about the midpoint of 2022, which has a bigger effect on selling your business, whether it's a content site, Amazon FBA business, or something else, than you might think. And unfortunately, this is where I have to educate you on the private market. So not only do we have ChatGPT, Google updates, and all this fear and uncertainty, but the other thing that happened towards the end of 2022 is a massive fallout of the private market, the PE, the private equity companies, all that kind of stuff. People that are moneyed up with big dry powder, spending money to acquire businesses in the hopes of selling it to bigger private equity typically, right? The financial wizards, as I often call them. So what happened in 2022, a little something known as the aggregators who had raised billions of dollars to buy digital businesses, primarily Amazon FBA businesses, a lot of them shuttered their doors and the private markets fell dramatically. The issue with private markets, with the value of a private market falling, the cost of capital rising with the interest rates, the issue that you have in that market is that the fall is often a lot more fierce and a lot more violent than, say, the stock market, like the public markets. None of these private equity people who raise all this money can just go to Wall Street bets like, yo, bro, can you like make me into a meme stock here real quick, trying to appease my investors? Appreciate it, I love you, right? No, you can't do that in the private world. Like you just have to soldier on and figure out a way to make it work underneath this new environment. And so you have those two things I mentioned, you have this I mentioned, all of this is creating uncertainty in the market, which you see in the sales data that we have on our marketplace, where we sold a dramatically smaller amount of content sites. Like the market is very wounded. So right now, if you are trying to sell a content site, it's not as easy as it was. That's just the truth, right? You're going to have to sell for a lower price than back in 2020 and 2021. Now, the nice thing is multiples are still pretty good. Like, yes, they're not as high as they were back then, but they're still much higher than like 2019 or 2018. Like, God forbid we go back to 2016 multiples. Like back then I was selling things for a little bit over 12x. Obviously it's not that bad. So yes, there is a fall from grace here, but it is not so dramatic where you can't still make a lot of money when it comes to exiting a content site. It's just harder now because of all the factors I mentioned before. So with all that said, that's the dreadful state of affiliate marketing. If you're trying to sell one of these businesses, it is a tougher go, I should say. It could definitely still be done. We still are selling dozens of them. In fact, we just closed on a content site about a couple weeks ago. It's not officially closed, but it's pretty close to being closed. It's over $2 million. So that tells me the market is still there. There's still buyers hungry for that. So if this is making you afraid to try to sell your affiliate site, don't worry. There are still buyers out there. And we have a big buyer now where we have people looking for quality sites. So if you are not hit by the helpful content update, if you are a quality business, we can probably still get you a quality exit. Just realize all the things I just said has made it all harder. And to kind of sum up the last bit of the bad news section of this video is at the end of 2023, I went to Chiang Mai SEO, put on by my good buddy, Matt Diggity over in Chiang Mai. And I had a great time. I love that conference. I think it's really fun. Some of the smartest people I know in the SEO world tend to go there. And it's just a really cool hangout spot if you've never been. Highly recommend to go. Tickets are probably sold out because, Dicky's a master marketer. So good luck getting a ticket. But with all that said, I have never been to that event where almost everyone I talk to that are usually so optimistic about what you can do with affiliate marketing are so pessimistic now. A lot of them are getting out of affiliate marketing altogether. They feel a bit jaded. They feel kind of double crossed by Google. Though any SEO worth their salt probably feels betrayed by Google every other month. So that's not too surprising. But with all that said, the general feel was a lot less optimistic than what I am used to. And that kind of encapsulates 2023. It just feels like there is something wrong with the state of affiliate marketing. It feels like there's something dreadful happening. Well, that's the bad news. So if I have not caused my career-bound SEO affiliates a lot of anxiety with everything I just said there, then hey, congrats, you're pretty stoic. Good for you. But there's also some news for people who are shaking the boots from what I just said. And that is, it's not all doom and gloom. Yeah, the picture I just painted is pretty bleak, but there is so much potential with content sites in making money in 2024 as long as you tweak your expectations a little bit. Which brings me to the much more positive part of this video, the good news. Now, before we go into the good news, I want to talk to you, the person out there looking to buy a content site rather than sell a content site. Like I said, these are great businesses if you're just starting out. There's very few moving parts. It's very simple to operate in the grand scheme of things. And it's very newbie friendly overall. So if you are brand new to say like a marketplace like us and you're looking at content sites, don't look at this video and be like, oh my God, Greg's telling me not to buy a content site. That's not at all what I am saying. In fact, the good news section of this video that I'm about to go into will highlight why I think content sites are actually still a very good acquisition in 2024, or even a good thing for you to build if you're starting from scratch. You just need those few tweaks. But real quick on the buyer side of things, if you have the money, if you have the dry powder to go and buy affiliate sites, now is probably one of the best times I've seen in several years, because in 2020 and 2021, it was all a seller's market. It was the season of the seller. That was the mainstay of our marketing, trying to get as much sellers in because there was such a frothy buyer frenzy that was happening that if you wanted to sell your business, you could trip over a rock and sell a business. Like obviously it was at that easy, right? But it was pretty close to being like that. It certainly felt like that at times where we were selling almost a 7-figure business a week. It was wild. But now times have changed. And for you as the buyer, that's actually good news. So I have a lot of friends who have all that fear that's been building up from all the events I just described in 2023. And now from that heavy fear, they are motivated to go and sell everything they own, sell all their assets. I have several SEO friends, obviously I'm not going to name them, but they basically sold the vast majority of their portfolio, if not 100% of their businesses that rely on SEO, at least the ones that they could sell, right? Because a lot of them aren't sellable anyways. So there is that. And for you as a buyer, this is actually really good news because since the sellers often are plagued by this fear where they don't believe in the business model anymore because they kind of drank the Kool-Aid that ChatGPT is going to destroy Google, Google is going to destroy Google, which is probably more true, but they don't believe in their own business model as much, and that's the motivation for them to sell. You can make pretty good offers. You can put less money up front, the longer earnout period, longer stabilization period, whereas before you might have had to put 80% down. Now you might be able to get away with as little as 50%. Now you want to be careful doing those offers, especially if you're looking at buying a content site underneath $500,000 in terms of its sales price. If you try to make an offer like that on a business that low, there's a good chance you're still going to lose out to more money to buyer. But even on businesses that low, you can probably make offers that are 70 to 75% upfront rather than what it used to be, which was basically 100% upfront. Like if you were buying content sites that were valued at less than $500,000, it was very rare for you to negotiate any kind of earnout payment at all to that seller because you would just get beaten out by another buyer that had a lot of money that would just come in and steal the deal from you, so to speak, right? But now in this kind of market, you as the buyer can make a lot more savvy deal structures where you can mitigate the capital risk of your purchases, of your acquisitions, like you just couldn't do in 2020 and 2021. So this is all really, really good news. So if you really want to look at buying and acquiring content sites, definitely go to our marketplace and register an account, check it out. We have plenty of good ones there for sale. but this is also just a very good time for you. Now that I think kind of dovetails perfectly into the good news. So let me stop talking and hinting at what the good news, and let's dive into it, because I am pretty optimistic if you do what I'm about to talk about can really make you a lot of money with content sites. So here's the good news. And first, there's a hard truth we all need to accept. When it comes to a content site, we know that they are almost always going to be monetized by display ads and affiliate sites. Those are not affiliate sites, affiliate links, right? Affiliate networks, all that kind of stuff. That is where the revenue comes from. Now, these two sources of revenue, while they're fantastic for someone starting out, at the end of the day, on the grand landscape of the revenue food chain, these are at the very bottom. These are the worst monetizations out there. Because let's think about this for a second. I own a website monetized through display ads, say Mediavine, Raptive, whatever. If someone clicks those ads, I get paid. Fantastic. Now, whoever is running those ads is getting paid a lot more than what I am getting paid. Otherwise, they wouldn't be even running the ads, right? Now, of course, there's people that lose their shirt in paid ad campaigns all the time, so that's not always true. But in general, this display ads is the lowest form of revenue monetization you can do, because you just do not encapsulate the entire funnel. And affiliates is not much better. It's the same thing. Someone clicks, in fact, it's even worse in some cases, because when someone clicks an affiliate link where you make money, that means they purchase something typically, and whoever they're purchasing from, that's the person that's making the real money from all your SEO effort. Like, you are pulling out your hair as Google is doing a pseudoplex on you from like Resident Evil 4 or something. Great reference if you're a gamer, by the way. It's just like pseudoplexing you to the ground as you're selling all this sweet affiliate traffic to that offer owner, that product owner. Like, they are much higher up in the revenue food chain than you. And this is the major problem with content sites. Because you are glued to the lower end of the revenue food chain, you can only do so many things. You can make some smart moves, some clever moves, but ultimately you're not seeing the whole picture. And the thing is, I want you to move up that revenue food chain. I want you to grow. The cool thing about content sites is they're kind of like the seed to greatness. Like, you can start at this lower level of the revenue food chain and build up, get some money, all that kind of stuff. And you can grow pretty dramatically and honestly pretty fast if you already have traffic up that revenue food chain pretty significantly. So first off, when we are talking about the bad news section, when it comes to SEO destroying content sites, especially with helpful content update, the same could not be said for other business models. So if you look at business models that are higher up on the revenue food chain from affiliate and display ads, and if they were backed by SEO, there just wasn't as much of this type of fluctuation. So Empire Flippers is a great example of this. Was our SEO traffic hurt in 2023? Yeah, a little bit. Nothing dramatic though. And in fact, I would say our top of funnel marketing KPIs minus the actual traffic coming to our website were pretty much similar to 2022, despite the entire SEO apocalypse seemingly happening all around us. And my friends who run SaaS businesses, my friends who are doing e-commerce stores with a heavy focus on SEO, they too did not report that wild of a fluctuation. It was mostly my friends who are purely focused on content sites where they got hit just like gut punched over and over again. So this gives you a clue, right? Google has always had this weird love-hate relationship with content site owners. They love them because of the display ad revenue. A lot of people use Google AdSense, right? So that helps them out. But at the same time, they often don't like them because they would rather businesses be paying for ads. There's all sorts of arguments about it. A lot of people in the SEO game just generally have this superstition, which I think is probably kind of true, that Google just doesn't like content sites. And I think there's a lot of truth to that, especially with what Outlook India is doing with the parasite SEO. That's pretty nuts. So if you move up the revenue food chain, we already just highlighted one of the first benefits you're going to get, probably one of the benefits you're going to get, that is. And that is just a way less quarrelsome Google algorithm for you. You're going to have a lot more stable traffic. You're going to have way less exposure to these strange updates that could destroy your website overnight. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, right? There's definitely SaaS businesses out there who had their entire SEO winnings dry up overnight, basically, right? But it's just way rare. So you protect yourself from just the organic traffic level by moving up the revenue food chain. The other thing you get by moving up the revenue food chain is a lot more profit. Like the margins on an affiliate site are fantastic because the only thing you're really paying for is your content and any backlinking you're doing, maybe like minimal web design, all that kind of stuff, right? But overall, the margins are really, really good. It's just that the actual profit is very, very small versus like an e-commerce store where as an affiliate, you might make like $3 on a product. That same product, if you are the store owner, you might be making $30 to $40 on that product after everything's said and done, right? So your margins are smaller as you go up the revenue food chain, but your profit is actually much larger over the grand scheme of things. The other thing you're going to get is the ability to control the entire funnel. So with a content site, you really only own the top of the funnel. You are basically a ad for whatever offer you're pushing your traffic to. Now you could build an email list and kind of build a moat around that content site, but ultimately that is what you are. You are a pass-through entity to the place where offer owners exist, right? Where they're selling their physical products, their software, their digital products, whatever it is. But if you move up the revenue food chain, now you get to do that. Now you control the sales letter. You control the email automation. You control all the stuff happens on the back end. You control the actual funnel where you could do cross sells, down sells, upsells, order bumps, all sorts of really, really cool stuff that you as an affiliate never really could control. And let's be honest out there, a lot of affiliate networks with good offers, the landing pages to those offers are terrible. Like a lot of the marketing funnels that they have that you just kind of have to work with are awful. That's why a lot of my affiliate friends who get off of, say, Amazon Associates, which is quite good as far as like the UI goes for sending traffic to them, when they go to other networks, they often try to make a custom kind of plan where they actually are building that funnel and all that kind of stuff because they know the actual offer owner has a funnel that just doesn't convert well, even though they have a good offer. So this is a thing you get to control when you move up that revenue food chain. So let's talk about how do you actually do this. So my biggest advice for in 2024 is for you to move up that revenue food chain, whether you're building a content site from scratch or buying one. I think content sites, if you're acquiring, this is actually like crazy powerful if you're an acquisition person, because you get to buy a content site that's already having a ton of traffic coming to do what I'm about to say here. And so you can make some significant money. Just to put this in perspective, by the way, I have a friend, he started a Amazon Associates affiliate site years ago. He was just your basic run-of-the-mill affiliate site. He upgraded, he did what I'm about to tell you to do here, and he upgraded from that lower totem pole in the revenue food chain all the way higher up, where now in his category, he is one of the largest e-commerce stores in all of America for his niche. And same site, same thing that you are building right now as an affiliate, that's the way he started. And he followed some of these steps. Now, I didn't teach him these steps, so he might have did them in different order, but this is what he did. And he's worth over $18 million, roughly. Maybe a little bit more than that now, which is pretty wild from an affiliate site perspective, like from that beginning. And this is what I mean. Content sites can be like the seed to greatness if you treat them in such a way. So let's do it. Let's talk about how you can upgrade your revenue. Step one, build an email list. I've been preaching this forever. People never listen to me, but you should build an email list. But even before you have anything else to sell, even as just a Amazon affiliate even, you should be building out these email lists. Building out an email list allows you to own the audience, own the data, which is the first step to doing what I am going to be talking about doing down the road. So an example, that friend of mine I mentioned, one of the things he did, he built that email list and he was sending them back to his content over and over again. So he got the long shelf life of that affiliate income when people were going to his reviews, all that good stuff. But what really set him apart is when he emailed this audience and said, hey, look, I want to make my own product. I want to sell something. What would you guys like me to sell you? And he got all these responses. And there was this one product in particular that people kept saying over and over again, oh, you should make this, you should make this, you should make this. So he said, okay, I'm going to go make that. And so he went and did it, made that product. Every time he ordered more product, he sent out his email list, hey, got more in stock. He couldn't keep the thing in stock. And his own audience that he built from this affiliate site is what gave him the idea, because they literally told him like, yo, if you made this, I will definitely buy it. You should make this. So that's what he did. So this is the power, just one of many things of the power of email. This video will get way too long if I go way into it, but just trust me, build an email list, no matter what your niche is, especially if you plan on going up the revenue food chain. Email list is so key. To me, it is the #1 marketing channel. Like at Empire Flippers, it's not SEO. It's our email, our email automations, our workflows, all that kind of stuff. That is the real workhorse of our marketplace. All right, you got your email list. Step 2, let's make a product. Now, when it comes to making a product, I highly recommend, if your niche supports it, to start with a digital product. It's easier to make. The COGS are next to nothing, cost of goods. And when you sell one versus selling 10,000, it costs you about the same amount, like other than the marketing, right? But digital products, info products, I think those are fantastic. Now, if you're in a niche that changes a lot, like marketing, a lot of people want to make a course in marketing, right? And like, I would love to make one too. I'm passionate about marketing. The problem with marketing and business courses is that typically they change too often and the CPC is quite high. Like, I have friends, my buddies over at Authority Hacker, great course. I recommend it all the time. But every time I talk to Mark and Gail that own the business, they are always in the process of updating the course. It's an endless game of updating, because if you don't update it, then your course becomes stale. And if you still try to sell it, people are going to be pissed, right? So they have to keep continuously updating it. I would much rather be operating in a niche where it is boring, evergreen, doesn't really change. It's the same in week in, week out, year in, year out. So that way there's minimal upkeep. But that's just me. You do what you do, right? But in general, if your niche can support it, I recommend doing digital product or a info product. Now, a very quick way you can see if anyone is talking about this at all in your niche is go to Udemy, go to Skillshare, just type in your niche, see if there's any courses that pop up. Then take those course titles, throw into Google, see if you can't find someone who actually has a funnel that isn't on one of those learning platforms like Udemy and Skillshare. Because if that's true, now you can look at their entire funnel, and that allows you to more or less hack that funnel, right? Then it shows you that people are making money with it, or at least potentially making money with it, right? And that is all good signs that your niche could support a digital product of some sort. Now, if you don't find anything from your research there, that's okay. Like, you could be the kind of a first mover course advantage here, right? Like, you can make the first course in the niche and it might do well, it might do terrible, right? But at the end of the day, you're only really going to spend your time on it. And one last hack here to see if your niche site can support these digital courses, rather than making the course from the get-go, just make the landing page, set up the payment processor, get people buying it, and then refund them and say, hey, look, I don't have the course yet. I just wanted to see if anyone was interested. But since you bought the course, first off, here's a refund because it's not made yet. And when it is made here in the next few weeks, I'm just going to give it to you for free. All I ask for is, if you like it, to leave me a testimonial, or if you didn't like it, if you could give me some feedback, so I hope I can make it better before I really do launch it. And this is a way to soft launch it, just to test your own market. And it's much easier to do this, by the way, if you have an email list you've been building. Okay, so that's digital products. That's great. Not every niche can support digital products. It doesn't always make sense, but when it does, I highly recommend you to do it. So the next one is physical products, which is what us as affiliates mostly are selling a lot of the time through Amazon, Walmart, you name it, through these affiliate links, right? When it comes to these physical products, there's a couple ways you can go about it. One, you can email your list, what do you guys want? Just like my friend did. That's certainly a powerful way to do it. But another little clever trick you can do is, if you are an affiliate site owner or buying an affiliate site, say you're buying an Amazon Associates site that is making, I don't know, 5, 10K a month, you can go into that Amazon Associates dashboard once you acquired the site and go look at all the products that are being sold from that website. If you see, let's say you have a kitchen website and there's a certain type of, I don't know, rice cooker that is being sold over and over again from your website, that gives you a good hint, like, hey, how hard is it to make a rice cooker? Could I source one? Could I white label one? Could I private label one? Could I design my own? And you already know people in your audience buy it. Like, literally, you're making money from selling someone else's rice cooker, right? So go on to Amazon, take all the reviews, throw them in ChatGPT. I'm not going to tell you how to do this, but you can Google, it's very easy. Throw it into ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, like, yo, what is everyone saying here that is pros and cons? What do they wish it had? What do they love about it? And ChatGPT will start spitting out a bunch of stuff like, okay, now you have your quick and dirty market research. Go and try to source that product or make that product and put it on your website, sell it to your email list. You already know they want it. And the site, if you're tracking your links right, you know which links they're going through to buy the other rice cooker. So just change that with your links. You can put this up on Amazon and make it into an Amazon FBA product, because that basically changes the UI almost like nothing. And later down the road, you can worry about having your own DTC funnel with it. But this is a great way to start. In fact, I have a lot of Amazon FBA friends that one of their strategies that they used to do, they don't do it as often now, but it still works, is go out and acquire content sites to send that traffic to their Amazon FBA listing. Now, you might be thinking as an affiliate site owner, whether you're buying or building one from scratch, well, that all sounds good, Greg. Selling a physical product is awesome, but I don't got the $30,000, $40,000 or whatever it might take me to design and order the inventory of that product. Well, I hear you. So let me give you another tip. So this is something I have seen some of my e-commerce friends, usually in the direct-to-consumer space, DTC as is often known, do. And this is where they will say, hey, I got a product. I think the market wants to buy this product. And they'll put up a Kickstarter or something similar to a Kickstarter where people from their email list, again, this is why email is so important, will go to that Kickstarter and pledge money to that product. Like, yes, I want that product. And they will have certain goals, certain milestones. If they overreach that milestone, they'll give a shirt or some extra bonus to the customer. But this is a very clever way for you to not even have to have the product yet. You could just design it, work with a designer, make it look cool, make the 3D graphics, all that kind of stuff, and make sure you really can design it, right? Like once you get the money. But you could put it up on Kickstarter and tell them, hey, this is for me, I'm giving you a great deal, all these bonuses, you're helping me actually fund my first batch of inventory. And this is a powerful way for you to grow a physical product business where it's no money out of your own pocket when it comes to actually ordering that inventory. And you already have customers to ship it to before the thing is even made. So there's all sorts of creative ways, like that's just one way. And I know that works really well. I have a lot of DTC commerce friends, like that's the main way they launch products is through a Kickstarter like thing. Now, not on Amazon with their own Shopify and Magento fund. So we talked about digital products. We talked a little bit about physical products. Now you can combine them both. So I'm a believer that every business model has its pros and cons. There's no one business that is the best in the world. Like a lot of my SaaS friends will say MMR, and then I'll tell them, wait till the VCs get in on your niche. And then they're pale with fear, right? Like, oh God, no, someone's coming in with $10 million to wreck me, right? And that happens in the SaaS space more often than people ever want to really talk about. But in my opinion, if you can do it, the safest business is where you mix and match multiple business models. So with content sites, you're already moving out of the revenue food chain here, and you already have some of the best form of traffic you can get, which is SEO, very high intent, usually very high converting. Now you have a physical product to sell them, so that increases your profit. Now you also have a digital product, which also can increase your profit. If you combine both of these, you can sell your digital product aggressively on the front end and then sell your physical products on the back end. I have a buddy, I won't give away the niche, but he's in the personal development niche. He has his own courses now. He used to be a super affiliate, finally listened to my advice and got off that stressful train. And by super affiliate, he was actually running ads as an affiliate, which is, to me, extremely difficult. Very, very hard to do profitably, but he was very good at it. He got burnt out. I told him, dude, just start your own business. You have the skills as you need. He got into the personal development niche of something he was pretty passionate about. He built that business up to, I think it was like 15 to 25,000 a month, somewhere around there, in basically pure profit, one-man show, love and life again. Now he also has a physical product in the supplements area. Supplements, shocker, is extremely competitive. It is a very, very competitive niche. Not easy at all. There's so much problems when it comes to building and scaling a supplements business. Anyone out there who's in supplements, especially if you're the product owner, you know exactly what I mean. Fantastic niche though, if you get it right, extremely lucrative. But my buddy, he has this info product in the personal development space that is tangentially related to the physical product he's selling, which is a white label supplement. So he doesn't have to compete in the ultra competitive supplement space. He has to compete in his little niche over here, which is way, way easier to get in. But this physical product is a no-brainer. Oh, that makes sense if you want to take what you're learning from his course to the next level. So there's a bunch of different ways you can mix and match digital products and physical products. I've seen it in the fitness space, I've seen it in the personal development space, I've seen it in the finance space for sure, but even in spaces you would never consider. I've seen people do this with beekeeping. I've seen them do it with like, how do I make a shed? Things like that. So you can make a whole course about your niche, and then your physical products are like the things, the tools or whatever that person will need to go and do the thing you're teaching them. So that's just some food for thought of how you can combine these business models. And by the way, this isn't just limited to digital products and physical products. Like you can do this with SaaS. Like I've had friends who built out content sites that they decided to turn into a software as a service. And that can be extremely lucrative too. So there's a bunch of different ways you can go here. And I implore you to try to explore all of them because I believe content sites are one of the best purchases you can make in 2024, the best acquisition you can make in terms of a business model in 2024, as long as you go bigger on that revenue food chain. As long as you have bigger ambitions than just getting more SEO traffic and more affiliate revenue, and you want to build something bigger, then I think content sites are such a good acquisition, especially right now, considering what a buyer's market is. All right, now this is my favorite part of moving up the revenue food chain, because I mentioned throughout this entire video about how affiliates are always stressed out about Google, how they are just getting destroyed in the algorithms at times, right? Well, if you move up the revenue food chain, this actually allows you to get off of the Google trap, to escape the Google trap. Because now, yes, your margins are lower than as an affiliate, but your profits are much higher as a product owner, which allows you to expand to other marketing channels much, much easier. Like you don't need to be an insane super affiliate with paid media to make money now as a product owner because your profit margin or your profit amount is much higher. Therefore, you can start using Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok Shop, Google ads, even Amazon ads if you're going on Amazon FBA, though technically you can even run Amazon ads even if you're not on Amazon nowadays. So this opens you up to multiple traffic channels. Now, what this does, one, Google loves it. Google loves to see your website is getting traffic from more than just SEO. Most of my veteran SEO friends would agree, like people that have other traffic sources outside of SEO, it tends to actually improve your SEO. So right there, there's a benefit. But the other big benefit is if you get off of SEO, like you're still getting all this great traffic coming in from SEO, but you now have these other traffic channels and another helpful content update happens. And let's say this time it does affect e-commerce stores. It does affect software entrepreneurs. Well, you're okay because you have all this traffic coming in from other areas and you can actually afford it because your net profit is big enough to warrant your ability to be able to afford it, unlike as a SEO affiliate. So this is one of the other big reasons to get off the revenue food chain. And that all leads me into something even more glorious, which is the big exit, the big money. This is why we're all doing it, right? To make this big exit, that $1 million exit, $2 million exit, 5 million, 10 million, whatever it is, whatever your number is, right? And here's something that is very interesting. So I have now sold helped sell over 2,000 businesses from the Empire Flippers Marketplace. And I have helped create over 78 millionaires from the moment that they exit from our marketplace. That's fantastic. And you know what? Very few of them are content site owners. Like it sucks, but in general, content sites tend to not to get over 7 figures. Do they exist? Absolutely. Like I said, we just sold a $2 million one. I have a buddy, he has a $30 million portfolio. Do they exist? 100% they do. Are they more common than a 7-figure e-commerce store? No way. E-commerce stores, 7-figure e-commerce stores are far more common than a content site. It's just the nature of the beast. E-commerce stores have a lot more ability to have leverage. Software has a lot more ability to have leverage than your average content site because again, they're operating on those very thin, on the bottom of the revenue food chain, right? Versus if you go higher up, this opens up all these other doors of marketing that were always closed to you. And when it comes down to making a business exit, by doing what I just said, like if you go out, buy a content site, turn it into this hybrid business of digital product and physical products and build out this email list and opening up those different marketing channels, you've done some insane stuff in terms of that business valuation, most likely, as long as you're profitable and scaling, all that good stuff. But let's assume you are. When it comes to selling your business, buyers love to see diversified traffic, diversified revenue streams, really good email lists, so really good assets coming in. And if you have SEO on top of that, that is wild because most e-commerce stores I have ever sold never even consider SEO. They like never bother with it because they're addicted with paid ads because of that instant feedback over and over again, right? So if you buy a content site and you build all this on top of this amazing foundation of SEO, your valuation is going to go through the roof. Like I'm not saying you're going to get some Silicon Valley style exit but you're going to get a much better exit than you would ever get with any kind of content site you build that's just limited to affiliate ads and, organic SEO traffic. It's just the nature of the game. When it comes to buying a business, buyers want to pay a premium for the less risky business because that business will most likely make an ROI for them, right? So if you can make your business less risky through all this diversification, through traffic and revenue, you're going to be sitting really pretty. And then the other thing too is because you are in a scalable traffic. So when it comes to Google SEO is what is known as demand capture. You're capturing the demand that already exists. But when you level up on the revenue food chain, that allows you to do demand generation, which those are like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, you name it, where you can create the demand. So that way you can scale. So over here is a lot more scalability than here. There's a lot more profit here. And when you combine both of them, that gives you a much better valuation. And because you have organic traffic, lowering your marketing costs, your customer acquisition cost, your CAC, your blended CAC across all of your marketing is probably going to be a lot lower than your competitors. If your competitor can pay $10 per customer and you could pay $25, you're probably going to win in the paid ads game over here because that person never focused on SEO and you did it by buying a content site or building a content site and leveling up from that revenue food chain. And ultimately, this is how you can get a multiple 7, even multiple 8-figure exit. I know, I've seen it. We just sold a $12 million business the other day. A 12 million, like I just mentioned in this video, we sold a $2 million affiliate site. That's a big affiliate site. When we sold this $12 million e-commerce store, medium size in my head. And that tells you the different revenue levels, different valuation levels that exist in this game. And if you treat content sites as a traffic asset where you can build upon it to level up with that revenue food chain, 2024, you're going to make a lot of money. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below. And I hope you enjoy me being back. See you on another video here real soon.